myself. I'm a systems engineer. I have a master's in manufacturing systems engineering. Pretty much did some consulting work for banks, then started working for Ernst & Young in management consulting, first in Chicago, then in Latin America. Got tired of all the flying around from one place to another, so I was based out of Venezuela, which is where I was born, and a good raw material in Venezuela is cocoa, so I took a partner in a chocolate manufacturing company, and I started to build on that company. Now it's a multi-million-dollar company in Venezuela. 8 years ago, I decided Venezuela was not a safe place to raise a family. I moved to Florida. What were the options to work in Florida? There was real estate, there's tourism, there was import-exporting. So I took real estate, I developed a couple of properties, I'm still involved in some real estate. Then 3 years ago, this is the part that's interesting for this conference. 3 years ago, as you all know, the real estate market was starting to show signs of slowing down. And I started to look into opportunities of investment. And I found, by chance, I went to Israel, and I sat down with 3 or 4 companies, and some of those were companies that were in the Greentech field. And I started learning about how Greentech is starting to grow and how these companies are starting to surface, and that's how I started a fund, a private equity fund that invests in green technologies. And our particular niche is investing in Israeli green technologies, although I'm going to concentrate now mostly on, in general, in investments in green technology, and I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on what I call early stage investments in green technology. So let's start. I want to start by asking you, or by talking a little bit of, what if we were back in 1996? And I will tell you, what are the opportunities to invest in internet? Back then, not many people knew exactly what internet was. Not many people knew what was the potential of the internet. People were not yet realizing that Google was going to be a giant, that Amazon was going to sell millions of dollars. So at that time, the only thing that was known is that there was this new thing that was useful, that a lot of people wanted to jump into it, but not everybody knew how to get into it. And if you fast forward from 1996 to 2011, 2010, that we're right now, you're going to see, like the graph is showing over there, that internet has grown exponentially. And now it's not a starting industry. Now it's a full-grown industry with giants, well-known names like Google, Yahoo, Amazon. Although HPs and Dell were names that probably existed before internet was launched, they grew with internet, with the growth of internet, as well as Apple and Cisco. And the point that I'm trying to make is that in that growth, a lot of people gained a lot of profit. And that was a big opportunity. And some people were skeptics at the time, and some people risked it and earned some important money. So let's bring it now to 2010. Why do I think there's a similarity between 1996 and 2010? Well, if you look at the graph, and I just took these 2 examples off of internet, and you can go into the internet, by the way, using Google, Yahoo, brand names that we all know by now, and start searching what's going on with water technology, what's going on with wind installations and manufacturing. If you order a wind turbine today, it's going to take you 2 years to get it. That's how backlogged the industry is. Solar panels, the good solar panels, you try to get in contact with solar manufacturers, even with the economic slowdown, they're full of orders. They cannot keep up with demand. So this industry is growing exponentially. And by the way, this is not the first time we see this kind of growth in an industry. Historically, as we've seen with the internet, it happened the same thing when railroads were invented in the 1840s, automobiles and radio in the 1920s, and transistor electronic in the 1950s. I mean, that's way past some of our experience, but certainly it's not the first time that the world has seen the birth of a new industry. So, what is Greentech? I mean, what's considered Greentech? A lot of people talk about Greentech, about green technologies, about clean tech. There's all sorts of names that we put to it. The way I like to divide Greentech is into three main components, or three main areas. There's everything related to energy, which is renewable energy, including solar panels or solar energy, wind, geothermal, you name it, energy generated by currents, by waves. Then within that area, there's also energy efficiency, things that help us consume less energy. I put there smart grid, even though it's a big initiative, it's eventually something that will allow us to optimize the consumption of energy. The second area is water. Water is green simply because water sources are becoming fewer and fewer, and consumption is growing as population is growing. There are countries nowadays that have serious water problems, and anything that relates to water purification, treatment, water security, which in some countries that have no water problem but have problems of terrorism or water contamination. Big industrial countries need to look at water security, and included in there are technologies to generate water, so like desalinization, filtration, etc., etc. And last but not least is waste management. Anything that has to do with recollection of waste, processing, and eventually what I think all of us in this room would like to see is waste to energy, how to make waste and create energy out of it, or also included in that segment is ways to minimize waste, okay, which is many companies that we've seen. So, this is all good and great. By the way, if anyone has a question at any given time, please interrupt me. I don't want to, it's 3 o'clock or 3:30, 3:20 now on Friday, so I don't want to make this a 1-2 conversation. I would like to have you, yes?
Why YouTube?
I will get to that, okay? Even though I was asked to speak a little bit more about the general investment opportunities in Greentech, but I will get to that, okay? So how do you jump into these Greentech investments? I mean, where are the opportunities to invest in green? And basically, there are 3 places where you can invest in green technologies. First of all, you can go to the markets. I mean, there is a carbon market, there is a European carbon market, there is an American carbon market,